All right, staying with the story, getting in breaking inputs. This as Tehran has warned neighboring countries hosting U.S. troops that it would retaliate against American bases if Washington carries out threats to intervene in the protests in Iran. A big statement coming in. Remember also an indication that this is going to spill over to Iran's neighbors as well. Let's quickly take this forward with CNN News 18's Zaka Jacob, who's joining me live from the newsroom. Zaka, this is indeed a direct warning now, not just to Israel, but also to Qatar.
It is. I mean, there are multiple U.S. allies in the Middle East who have American military bases. The Al Udeid air base in Qatar is, of course, the biggest American military base in the region. But then it's also a question of capability. We saw, back in June after the 12-day war, Iran tried to attack the Al Udeid air base in Qatar. There were no casualties anywhere in that base or in the vicinity of that base. But look at what America and Israel managed to achieve back in June in that 12-day war. In precision airstrikes, they managed to completely take out the uranium enrichment program in 3 of those sites, in Fordo, in Natanz, and in Isfahan. And so the options that Trump is looking at right now, certainly military options are on the table. That's what the U.S. White House press secretary said as well. And Trump himself said that he's looking at a range of options. So limited precision airstrikes would be the sort of surgical way to go. And he's been emboldened by the fact that not just the 12-day war, which America and Israel easily won against Iran back in June, but also what's happened recently in the case of Nicolas Maduro in Venezuela. He's been emboldened by these operations, and he pretty much realizes that this is perhaps a once-in-a-generation opportunity where if there is one final push by the American Special Forces or whatever options he chooses, then this could lead to potentially the fall of a nearly 50-year regime. This iron fist that's been employed by the Ayatollah regime over the last 50 years. Remember, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, the supreme leader of Iran, is 86 years old. I mean, he's not really in the prime of his political career, as it were. He's really in the twilight. And now this could also potentially present the Iranian people, as well as, of course, the Western intermediaries, with an opportunity to try and see who the successor to Ayatollah Ali Khamenei will be. Remember, in Venezuela, what effectively they managed to do is to depose the number 1 and make the number 2 as the leader of Venezuela. They basically cut a deal with the vice president at that time, Delcy Rodriguez, and she's now the interim president of Venezuela. The problem in Iran is, you have various, clerical elite who are effectively the Guardian Council or the Council of the Elders, who effectively run the country, at least from a clerical, theological point of view. Then you have the government under Masoud Pezeshkian, which, of course, seems to have a slightly reformist bent of mind. And then you have the security forces. You have the IRGC, the Al-Quds, the Basij resistance. They're all sort of very, very important players into what happens next in Iran. So it's not just about the removal of the supreme leader and replacing him with someone else, but it's a question of whether the system can be changed, whether the regime can be changed.